I want to be a young man, curly-haired, dark-eyed, intense. My throat wrapped in a scarf striped with academic possibilities, and my future in the middle distance to which I gaze my poet's stare, dark-eyed, intense, and I a young man with confidence, all to live for, all to play for, all yet to see through darkened eyes. My father taught him skimming stones, how to choose the flattest, the best angle to launch across barely rippling waves. Now he stands in the same shingle, tries to teach his niece, but too young, she gathers shale, flings it at the water's edge. His own father, awkward, prefers neutrality. McDonald's, Starbucks, cinema. It was my father who taught him the aerodynamics of the paper plane, the skimming stone, who talked about the war, his RAF career, told him more than I had ever heard, showed the boy's own skills of his own youth, built bridges between the centuries. Sometimes you remember the day you allowed yourself to be happy, sitting in the ice cream parlour across from the Lamborghini dealership on the hottest day of the year. That was before the tantrum, beneath the bones of the enormous dinosaur, before the suspended blue whale, before the scorching sun came through the glazed-in roof and the ice-cold drink warmed up. Most of all, it was before the T-Rex began to move. I danced away from chaperone to wander by the water's edge. Though I was veiled, he could not fail to dazzle me. The golden beak, the black eye that watched my every move as I crushed the sedge beneath my feet. That night I barely slept, the bed too hot, the room too cold, until, at the first small light of dawn, I swear he came to me in a thunderous beat of pinions and took me, with my maid asleep in her cot across my door. His beak mark, like embroidery on my neck, is with me still. And more, the child I bore him is cursed with such terrible beauty, she will sway whole kingdoms and make the ages sing. I never sought this mocking infamy, laughter and disbelief when I tell truth. My father never looked to find a suitor, my madness beyond any dowry he could find, but I had long since knelt before the altar and pledged virginity to Artemis in her shrine. I was the ghost who haunted temple walls, friend of the snake, confidant of the gods. But still the young ones, laughing, pulled my veil while parents, fearful, tugged them on their way. They called me doomsayer, shunned my words, swore that I called misfortune in their midst. Yet all I wanted was for them to listen and make ready for the battles yet to come. For I had seen the beauty of the swan's child, offspring of the god, born human from an egg, foretold the flight from Sparta to our shore, foresaw the fleet that followed in her wake. I begged brave Hector not to leave the walls, to sheath his sword when Achilles goaded him. I screamed my warnings from the highest tower as they inched the horse god through the city streets. My chastity was stolen in the aftermath. First Ajax raped me as his rightful prize, then Agamemnon took me for his concubine, my fate etched in the lifeline of Clytemnestra's hand. I have not sought this cursed gift of scrying. I try to disbelieve what I know true. I'm hoard each night in Agamemnon's bed, and not yet dead, awakened to a weeping dawn. I understood he had to leave our home, a man's pledge worth more than life itself, and wives should count for nothing when war summons, and he must leave to fight. So I remained in Ithaca, in our palace, our stronghold hewn from the living rock, in our bed where the olive thrived and grew, while Odysseus' ships were beached on Ilium's shore. 20 years I've waited, hearing now and then from passing merchants how the far-off war progressed, how the finest of the warriors fell, and the soaring towers at last were dust. I cursed the gods who thought it sport to use us as the playthings in their quarrels, who sent his ships aground, turned men to pigs, and changed our fortunes as they rolled their dice. And I only had to keep the faith, as any slave or toothless crone would do. Except that in their wisdom on Olympus, the gods sent countless suitors to my door. Suitors, men not fit to lace Odysseus' boots. In ones and twos they came to set up camp and sought to woo me, take me for their own, and get themselves a kingdom none had earned. What weapons does a woman have to fight? No iron sword is mine, nor sharpened spear, but herbs and needle and a wooden loom, 12 serving wenches to avert their lust. A shroud, I said, to wrap Odysseus' corpse, the least that I could do for him I'd loved. Then I'd be ready for the marriage bed, the moment that the final stitch was wrought. But each night in the darkness I crept back and unpicked every warp and every weft. And still the passing sailors came to tell how day by day Odysseus weeps for home, yet crawls each night into Calypso's bed, where she robs him of the very thought of me. 20 years is long without a lover's touch, and the maids and I would watch as just outside the palace walls the young men trained and preened for our diversion. Their arms were firm and round, their legs were strong and smooth, and how I yearned to stroke that skin. And sometimes in my deepest, darkest nights, I wondered if I could fulfill my oath. The maids have helped me in my nighttime hunger, but now I know his homecoming is nigh. And when he walks amongst us once again, I know what I must do to save my name. Despite the loyalty the maids have shown, the gallows is the only end for this. The pain-fractured mornings break in a creamy foam of hawthorn, purple pansies and the blackbird's song, and the knowing that the rose will never bloom. From downstairs, the toddler's laugh is muffled by the closing door, and voices, hushed and serious, rise and fall, rustle like a distant sea, blending, always blending in the haze of medication. Holding on to faith without the hope of Christmas, and the knowledge that there will never be another birthday card. May is no time to die.